Wow! What a screamer!
Welcome back everyone, thanks for watching. Got the Vanford 2500. Gonna open her up and see what she looks like on the inside. Does feel a little bit dry, but it's not that old, so shouldn't be too bad. Just gonna see what condition it's in and give it a service. Bit of sand in there. You can see the grease a bit deteriorated, so it hasn't been washed and cleaned properly. I can see sand around it. .9. Feel the oil on it. You can see how it captures the fluid. So this particular seal, what I like about it, it's got a nice little lip on it, so it hugs the shaft. Clockwise. I think it's a bushing in there, not a bearing. It looks like a hex. Wash your reels. That was 1.3 that I used on the back. You got 1, 2, that one, and one on this side. You got these three here. That gets that cover off. Just going to find the right size for that. That's a T9 that I put in there, fits straight in. Just using a flat screwdriver. It's a 3mm. So the smaller one, the shorter one goes at the back, the longer one goes at the front. This one holds down the bearing. There it is, it cracked. Oh yeah, forgot about that. That last screw that I took off on this side, on the side with no hand, or on the left side, is the same size as the one on the body. That long one, that longer one goes on the right hand side, facing this way. Okay. There we have it. There's that little bail arm thing. Now we'll get this out. Seems to have that edge there that gets caught on that. Got to be careful not to lose that. that bushing there, I'm going to upgrade it to a bearing like the Stella. Another bearing there, a bushing. There's that. There's a pin over here. There's a little groove that faces the front section. And that one there. I'll clean it all out and I'll get back to you shortly. Let's grease all these up, get them ready. I'm using this grease today. I've bought this, it's a ceramic grease, it's a very thin grease, so you won't feel any thickness. That's it there. You only need a thin layer. Just make sure there's a layer on the inside. It's a very thin grease. It's made for high-end reels apparently. Thought I'll try it out. Okay, let's check all these. Bearings are nice and oily. It's fairly new, it's only about 6 months old, this reel, so this is a Boca lightning oil. You can open them up, but if you put on the top there and just run it around, if you don't want to open them up, it will seep through. There's a side bearing, a couple of drops, it will seep through. This is for the shaft. This sits up the top, facing up. Again, a lot of oil. Now, these two bearings here. A whole bunch of shims here. So that particular one there, that sits on the back. I want to see if I've got that size, and this one as well. So these sit on this shaft, the worm drive gear. One sits on one end, the other one sits on the other end. I'm just going to check some of these bearings that I got. I've got a few different sizes. So the smallest one I got, 493, 499. The thickness is 251, 254, 253, and the inside diameter 185, 19. There is no play, so looks like we got the inside one. Let's have a look at this one. $596, $599. This is 25. $24. Now there is washers with this, so I'm assuming I'm going to try it without the washers. What I'll do, see the washers there, so if I put them together, a little bit more than 2.5, so that's going to fit in with a couple of those washers. So that's 2.5, this is 0.86, so we need an extra washer there. I'll leave that one out for now. And if we put these together, put all the washers together, it's a little bit over. Take one of the thin ones out, that one there. It'll still work, I just don't want any play. There we go. 0.81, the other one was 0.86, this one's 0.85. We'll try it without one washer. There you go. So one washer less. I'm going to keep this one off. It's a very thin one. Let's start putting it back together. So that one there, the smaller one, sits inside there. We'll oil it up. These are brand new. Like that. That sits there. This is the fun part. There we go. There's one washer, or shim. Now this goes that way. There's in that hole there. There we go. That went over here. That one was. Let's have a look at the shaft. You could open this up and put a, this has got a bushing inside, you can put a bearing in there. I'm going to leave it. Put a bit of grease in there. This is what it's going to be travelling up and down the worm gear. It'll be like that, because that edge there was a bit tricky. If I connect that, there we go. That's in there. Put that rod. With that rod you can put a bit of grease on it so it can glide up and down nicely. See, this won't come, oh yeah, it will. Just a bit hard to take off originally. All we're doing is trying to get this down out. There we go. That's got the washer on it. There we go. Put the bearing on. Okay, that's on. We'll put this cover on. It goes that way. Happens a lot. I always forget something. I have to open it back up. So this thing, the flat side sits up here. I'll put a bit of grease on it. What I will do, I'll put this on so it doesn't move. Don't tighten them all the way, tighten it evenly. Just a bit on the back, just to hold it in place. It's right there, in that groove there. Okay, now we'll put this on. There we go. Alright, put that aside, check the bearings. This one is paper thin. See it? There we go. Just get them in there. The long one went on this side with the other two. The Allen key. Okay. Nearly forgot the O-ring. Can put a touch of grease to hold it in place. Yep, there's a nipple there, there's a little hole there and there. It'll go into its place, you'll feel it. Just tighten the screws evenly. I'm going to give this a clean. There's a bit of corrosion, a bit of salt. We'll put a bit of grease on this just to protect it from the elements, like a little seal so no salt water or any water or anything gets in. Just seals it a bit. Let's clean this up. It's got a nice click to it. It's just got a bit of sand around it. I'll check the roller bearing because that's usually what goes first. Nice and smooth. Even sand in there. And that sits on top. So these are all bushings. Bushings are better for longevity, as in they won't seize up. There is a bearing on this side, as you can see. Let's open it up in order. Let me have a look. Very smooth. Does feel a bit dry, but that's better. Once that oil seeps in, makes a big difference. Let's get this back in. Like that. It's got a bit of grease on it. That's it. Back like that. Like that. Now there's a groove there that sits in that groove there. Yep, it goes in. I felt that little click. You could put a bit of blue Loctite on there, but it's fine if you're going to regularly open it and inspect it to maintain the bearing. Beautiful. Let's get this back on. Beautiful. I want to see if this has got a bearing. It's got a bushing in it. There it is there. It's actually got a nice little rubber seal there. Pretty awesome. Okay, put that back in. It's got a little groove. That groove faces up, captures all the dirt and grime. Sits like that. This cover sits like that. Okay, beautiful. Put that aside. I'll just oil it a bit. It's a fairly new reel. It's about 6 months old. There's a little spring there. If you ever take that off and lose it, you're gone. No more clicker. So that little groove, there's a little groove in there for the spring, right there. That spring is right there. Got to make sure it's in there. See that spring? That's it there. Little screw, it's size 0.9. Put all these back on. The drag stack, look at the sand in there. It's not that dirty, it's just the top bit. I don't know how sand got in there, but it does. I'll go clean this out a bit and I'll be back. You can see some of the felt mixed with the grease. Make sure when you re-grease it, you use drag grease, don't use normal grease. A bit of worn out on these ones already, eh? Look at that. Bit of felt with the grease. That's your drag stack. Alright, we'll clean them up, re-grease them. Now you could soak these in white spirits or whatever you're using, but just squeeze out the old grease, give them a wipe. If they're worn out, order some new ones. You can replace them, they're not that expensive. You don't want it too thick. Then we've got this one. These nipples go in the edges there, like so. These grooves go through them. Whoop. They sit like that. Get this back in there. Like so. Let's give this a clean. Beautiful. She's all done. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.